The hosts of bracketology are experts in nothing. They claim no advanced knowledge or profound insights. Instead, they are just three judgmental idiots who really like to bloviate their own opinions whenever given the chance. Take what they have to say with a grain of salt, or not at all. You'll probably be better off that way.
So y'all remember the Hunger Games?
I'm familiar with the book and movie series, yeah.
So the idea is essentially a bunch of kids get put into an arena and then they have to battle it out till one is the only survivor left. Kind of a fucked up thing for kids, right?
I think that was the general idea.
The natural evolution of where we're going, but
Sure. So I want to take us back to a couple weeks ago and get some imagination rowing in your minds, Dan.
gross.
Imagination. Instead of kids,
Fuck you guys for referencing SpongeBob, by the way.
What?
That imagination thing? The SpongeBob.
No, what you did was SpongeBob. What I did was South Park. Fuck yourself.
Anyway.
Let's replace the children in Hunger Games with sentient fruit. What fruit is going to win the Hunger Games?
I mean, I feel like pineapple.
Why?
Because they have a tough outer shell. They're kind of abrasive.
But they're a big target, you know?
They've got the tartness. Well, who are you going for? Blueberries? The fuck's a blueberry ever going to do against a pineapple?
I don't know why you just assumed I was going to go with blueberries. Jesus.
You decided what Matt was going to go with and then told him he was an idiot and he didn't say anything.
It has been a week since you guys pissed me off with the Pez versus gummy bear decision. I'm still mad about it.
It's a little behind the scenes. It's 7 minutes later. I think I'd go with like a banana.
Banana came to mind for me first too.
You know what I mean?
Because both of you like the banana flavor for some reason.
Matt actually prefers the banana shape.
Look, it is a good shape for eating. I'm just throwing that out there. It's handheld. You know what I mean? It has its own wrapper, so you don't even have to touch the flesh.
You could say the same thing about oranges, though. Yeah,
but the problem with oranges is that they're so round.
Oh, you don't like round?
I mean, not in the Hunger Games. The banana.
You're more phallic than round.
Sure.
Some would say I'm a giant dick. I'm both.
But I do think that bananas have an advantage in the Hunger Games arena because they are longer, right? Like they're not big. Like a pineapple would be big. That's a big target for people to shoot at. But a banana is tall, but doesn't necessarily have the girth that makes it a big target.
Are you imagining the banana with some pretty lanky arms and legs?
Yeah, for sure. Like definitely cartoon style Mickey Mouse legs as it runs.
So easy to take out the legs, whereas the pineapple is sturdy. It's like putting in somebody your size, Matt, in a sumo wrestling competition. You're going to lose, buddy.
I don't entirely understand your argument because are you assuming the pineapple doesn't have any legs?
No, I'm just saying that the pineapple's legs would be like pineapple equivalent, like stout, sturdy legs.
Is this just like a bare knuckle fight to the death type thing?
No, we're talking Hunger Games. There's a pile of weapons in the middle of the arena that everybody can get to, right, to start.
Sure.
I don't think the pineapple's going to have trouble getting there first, and it's big. So what is its option? Like, from like a what's that word?
See, I see the pineapple being able to do like a spin roll like Sonic does. But like on its side.
It would get dizzy.
Sonic doesn't get dizzy.
Sonic's a cartoon.
This is a sentient pineapple.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? It's going to have... Dan does make a solid point. It's going to have of the fruits, it has the hardest, most most impenetrable. It's not that it is, but like the most difficult to penetrate outer shell, and it's spiky, which gives it an advantage, I think.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
spikes mostly tickle. They don't actually hurt.
Yeah, but if you're getting pummeled with laden fist from the pineapple, like, yeah, the weapons will equalize that size difference, but eventually it's going to come down to bare knuckles fighting. And we all know that the pineapple is going to come out on top there.
What makes you think that it's going to end in just a brawl, like versus a fucking kiwi in a tree 30 feet away with a bow and arrow?
They're going to run out of ammunition. And plus, the pineapple's going to be able to take a couple of hits.
I mean, you're not wrong on that. I will give you that it has more endurance, for sure, like when it comes to just taking wounds.
I think the grapefruit is going to bring a stealth component to this battle that we just haven't considered.
What about
the grapefruit?
What about the grapefruit makes you think stealth?
It's a low key contender. You know, it just doesn't. I think it's not a top of mind fruit, and it's misleading, right? Like you see that grapefruit and you think, oh, this is going to be a delicious, yummy treat, and then you stick your spoon into it the first time and it squirts you in the fucking eye. It's got a stealth attack that I think we have to take into consideration. We don't want to underestimate it.
That's a valid argument, and I think that when all things are taken seriously here, that sneak attack. I mean, and like you said, people forget about it. People forget about the grapefruit.
Do you ever worry about the impact that this podcast has on our egos when I can say some stupid shit about how the grapefruit stealth attack is a valid thing to be concerned about, and you say that it's a valid argument? If that's a valid argument that I can make in my everyday life, how is that going to impact my ego?
It shouldn't, because that was a completely stupid argument.
But he validated it.
I don't know why, but
because I have more imagination than you fucking old.
So here's the thing: if you're gonna go like stealth fruit, I think kiwi, or maybe like grapes. And are we talking an individual grape, or is it grapes, a bunch of grapes?
I think if it's grapes,
question.
I feel like it's a
hive mind grape army.
Well, hold on, I don't think about an army, but I do think that there is a bunch of grapes. Like it is a literal. What is that called? Is it a bunch of grapes?
It's a bunch of grapes, yeah.
I think it's a bunch of grapes. I think that's valid.
But they're all interconnected, but not hive mind?
I mean, it could be hive mind, but I think army was the wrong term used in that.
So a hive mind of grapes.
20 of them are not an army.
Hive mind of grapes going to be kind of difficult to overcome because they can ambush you from different ways. The only one that's going to be able to withstand that onslaught,
I swear to God, if you say pineapple.
I think, hold on, the grape is only hive mind if they're still connected to the stem, though. They have to have that neural link.
I feel like
they can't come from every direction. Yeah.
Putting that limitation on it? Okay.
100%.
I feel like as soon as a grape comes off of the stalk,
it just becomes a stupid...
It's a raisin.
I think it dies.
It becomes a raisin at that point.
Well, then grapes are at a huge disadvantage.
No, they have like 20 lives. Like it can lose a grape but still live. One grape gets stabbed. There's still 19 other grapes.
That's true. It can make sacrifices from its own body in order to maintain its continued existence. And it's got regeneration powers, so...
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, because from the stem, it can just keep growing more grapes.
I mean, it's not growing any longer, though. It's cut off.
In my imagination, it is.
I don't think you have an imagination. I think I come up with these, and y'all are like, this is stupid.
I just gave sentient grapes a hive mind with a neural link and regeneration powers. Screw you.
I don't know why they need to have regeneration powers. None of the other fruits do.
You also validated his sneak attack.
That's because that was a legitimate argument, Dan.
But to say I don't have an imagination. A valid argument.
Get in the comments. Who's going to win the Hungary Games? The Hungry Games. That's what we're going to call it. You know what? Copyright this.
Why are we going to call it anything? We're never going to revisit this conversation.
The only thing that's going to stand up to a pineapple is the cantaloupe.
No, fuck
It's
all
the
melons.
softest of the melons. I love cantaloupe.
It's got the hardest shell of the melons.
No, it does not. What the fuck is wrong with you?
But what
A
melon has
honeydew has a harder shell than a cantaloupe.
You have a harder shell than a
The
cantaloupe.
fuck?
100%.
What the fuck are we talking about? Coconuts.
You know what?
Coconuts kill humans like all the time.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but it happens at least a couple times a year.
And one coconut attack is going to take out at least 5 grapes.
It's coconut.
I think it's coconut.
Yeah, I think you're right. Coconut, yeah.
Find out next week on the Hungry Games.
Matt, you have a new animation project to figure out how to learn.
Just shorts of the Hungry Games.
Hello and welcome back to Bracketology, the podcast that definitively decides all things tournament bracket style. I am the second best nerd to put in your mouth, Scott Grubb.
I am a little dum-dum, Matt Robinson.
And I'll help you taste the rainbow. I'm Dan Default.
Gross.
Well, Scott's kind of stole mine, so I had to improvise.
I did not steal yours. I just used the same candy as what you were planning to use, and mine was funny. This week, we continue our debate of candy versus chocolate. The, again, slightly different bracket. How are we? What's different about this one, guys? What makes this bracket stand out?
Chocolate fights chocolate until candy fights candy until last match, chocolate fights candy, and then winner.
Kind of a Neanderthal approach, but, you know, it...
Dum-dum.
All right, fair enough. Last week we started chocolate, went to candy. I think this week it only makes sense we start candy, go to chocolate. What do you guys think?
I always go front to back.
All right, start. Are we still talking about the bracket?
Yeah.
Starburst versus Runts.
Look, I feel like I need to be the one to like talk first in a lot of these matchups because I'm going to have the opinion that gets fucking lambasted the entire time. Starbursts are good.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Everybody has Starbursts that they don't enjoy or that they will put aside for the kids because what I really want is just the pink ones.
The pink one's definitely the best flavor.
Oh, without a doubt.
Runts, similarly, to me, there is a best runt by far.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's the banana runt.
Yes, it is. I have an entire packet of banana runts.
One of the best gifts I ever received was that exact same type of bag. It was a whole bag full of just nothing but banana runts.
This is the best possible candy in runts. And to me, bananas, they push the runts over the Starburst. So I'm just going to throw that out there and wait to be told that I'm an idiot.
Go ahead, Dan.
I'm just sitting here thinking about how we're going to allow another really bad decision to go through. Runts are good. I'm not going to discredit that. And for the runt flavors, I actually agree with you. Banana runts are the best. But the best runt flavor does not compete with the best Starburst flavor. Yes, there are more Starburst that I will not eat. I'm not a big fan of the yellow Starburst, but it's worth it to get to the pink.
Again, we're still talking about the bracket, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You have to go through yellow to get to the pink.
I think that you have been to places and seen people I am not interested in meeting. I think that it is fair to say that Starburst has if you look at the entire palette of Starburst flavors that are available, I think that they all fall within a closer range of enjoyment. I think that the pink is definitely the high end of that, but I'm happy with any flavor of Starburst. I even enjoy the lemon ones.
Oh, and tropical Starburst. There's not a bad tropical Starburst. All of those bangers.
Good thing we included variations, huh?
No, it's not.
But I do also enjoy runts. I don't necessarily enjoy every flavor of runt as much as I enjoy every flavor of Starburst. Chewy runts are also a thing, also pretty good. All of that is to say, though, that even though I might feel more confident reaching into a bowl of Starburst and picking one out and knowing I'm going to like the flavor, if I know that there's a banana runt somewhere in the house, I want to find it and put it in my mouth hole. And that alone, I think, again, I'm going to be happy with most of the other runt flavors as well, but that banana runt is a game changer. It's a goat. It's S tier.
I've never loved you more.
You just came in expected to be disagreed with.
I absolutely did.
Yeah, no. Give me a whole bag of banana runts. Change my life forever.
I believe in my heart of hearts that I have to believe in the heart of the cards. And the banana runt, like really the only thing that runts has going against it compared to Starburst is the texture. Like I'm not a big fan of like the hard candy. Like I like to chew through my candy, right? Mm-hmm. But the chewy runts kind of make up for that in a lot of ways. And I will go after all of the runts and the chewy runts. Whereas with regular runts, I'll generally just go with the banana runts. But it sounds like we have votes. Runts from Matt.
Runts from me.
Dan, want to make it a clean sweep?
Disappointment from me. Look, this, out of all the brackets that we have done, there have never been two worse decisions than Runts over Starburst and Pez over Gummy Bears. What a terrible decision. What a travesty. Starburst are the superior candy, guys. Tropical Starburst alone beats every flavor of Runt.
So our next matchup.
Science.
Next matchup. Nerds versus the Dum-Dums. The Dum-Dum-Dum-Dum-Dum-Dum. Who are you going with? What do you got here, Daniel?
I don't think it matters anymore because this bracket is broken and you guys are terrible.
This is what... Hold on. You know what? I'm going to take this as an opportunity to get back up onto my soapbox. Okay?
Oh, Jesus.
Because
I'm going to take a nap.
Here's the thing, Daniel. This is what our brackets are supposed to be about. It's about us. It's about me having a good time talking to my two co-hosts that I sometimes call friends.
You really sound like you're having a good time. You've definitely given the air of good time in these last few episodes.
Yeah.
I absolutely have had a good time in the last few episodes. You know what I didn't have a good time in? The fucking WWE champion one, because it was bullshit. You both put other people's needs in front of yourself. Go to therapy. You're important too. And that's what these brackets are supposed to be about, Dan. Runts moved on. What are you going to talk about next? I'm off the soapbox.
Nerds versus Dum-Dums. Look, this one, I feel like this one's kind of easy. I'm not going to lie. And maybe it shouldn't be, because Dum-Dums are a staple of every doctor's office and bank and, you know, it's and Halloween bag for sure.
But they're like that because they're cheap.
Yeah, and they're tiny, and the flavor's fine and all that, and they've got a history and a lineage, but man, Nerds, have you had the Nerds gummy clusters?
Or Nerds rope?
Yeah, same thing. It's the same thing, just the gummy clusters are cut up versions of the Nerds rope. Oh my gosh. I mean, again, a life-changing candy. They've been incredibly popular on the market. They're incredibly popular in my house.
I mean, you're not wrong. They are incredibly popular, but like Dum Dums have been around for forever. Like
Yeah.
they are like long lasting. They have a legacy.
Fun fact, do you know what the Dum Dum mystery flavor is?
All the other Dum Dums boiled down
Yeah,
together.
it changes. It's whenever they're in production and they're changing from one flavor to another, there's usually overlap. So like they go from whatever green apple to strawberry in between when they're changing production lines. So there's overlap, and whenever that overlap is, they sell those as the mystery ones. So they're
Yeah.
never the same flavors, and it's how they reduce waste.
I've also watched Unwrapped, and I love Dum
Fuck you,
Dums.
Matt.
However, however, um, my favorite Dum Dum, and I've got to say it. I got to
Is-
say it.
Scott.
Root beer.
Oh,
Root beer Dum Dums are the best Dum Dums. They're like root beer barrels, but on a stick, and they're fucking amazing. I don't really like Nerds that much. Like, I just don't. I think that, like, it's just, I don't know. It's whatever.
I think you just invalidated everything when out of all the Dum Dum flavors you could have gone with, you picked root beer.
I like the root beer flavor. Root beer is a great flavor, especially for candy.
Then drink a fucking root beer.
I don't want to drink a root beer. I want to drink a Diet Pepsi and eat a fucking root beer Dum Dum.
The worst of the Dum Dums. Is it the worst? That might be. I mean, there's so
Wasn't
many
there
Dum
a
Dum
chocolate
flavors.
Dum Dum at one point?
There was, and it was the worst.
I feel like it was
Yeah.
real bad.
There's probably a reason why that doesn't exist anymore. It sounds
The
terrible.
pina colada Dum Dums, like, I don't even like coconut, but it was very pineapple forward. Dum Dums have a lot of really, really good flavors.
Again,
Like I
green
said-
apple. I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah,
No pun
just-
intended.
Nerds never really got me excited, even if they are clustered on some gooey stuff. Like, it was
Nerd
just
clusters are the best.
They're so
They are
good.
so good.
So good. You get a little sweet. You get the right sweet and salty combination, or not salty, sweet and tangy combination. A little sour with it. It's good. Good.
you remember
Right, so
when
is that
Nerds
our
just
votes?
What was that, Matt?
did Nerds ever just have like one flavor in a box?
The little like
other
Halloween
than
ones.
the little
No,
ones, like,
full size boxes always have two flavors.
they
I
always
think.
mixed them.
Yeah. And again, you have iterations. You have sour nerds. You have a bunch of different flavors. Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to. Man, this is one of those ones where like I'm trying to debate: do I want to take myself out of it, or do I want to like think about the best overall experience? Because me personally, I'm grabbing a box of nerds. But again, that experience, like the Dum Dum, is such. I feel like a staple of childhood. Like.
Yeah,
My son eats a Dum Dum pretty much every single day. Like he it's kind of his like little go-to dessert that he has after lunch. It's just one of those little Dum Dums, and they're small candies. They're great. He loves them.
it hits the itch when you want something, like when you want a candy, but you don't want to like binge on candy, right? Like it is a small enough size that it's never going to overwhelm your want for a candy. Like, it's a perfect size for just that one sucker.
I mean, but nerds are tiny little bit. Nerds are great if I want 1,000 pieces of candy.
Next time you eat Nerds, I want you to imagine. Never mind.
Yeah, go on.
No. My vote's going to be for Dum Dums. I do think Dum Dums, they just hold a higher place in my heart than Nerds do. Nerds, they're overrated in my opinion.
I don't know if I can go that far. Dan?
Yeah, it votes for Nerds. Like, Dum Dums are okay, but they aren't even the best, like, suckers, right?
What's the best sucker then?
Oh, Blow Pops. 100%.
Get the fuck out of here. That shitty chalk gum. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, still better than a Dum Dum. Flavor's better, and you get
That thing
get
takes
chewing
up
gum.
your entire mouth when you have a blow pop in. A Dum Dum's perfect. You can put it to the side. It can just be like almost like a toothpick. You can feel like a cool greaser while you're eating a Dum Dum.
We experience suckers very differently.
You just
But my
swallow them
vote-
whole or what?
No,
Dan-
my vote
Dan
for
votes-
this.
Dan holds them about a half inch from his mouth and just tongues it.
That's exactly it. My vote for this is definitely with Nerds. The nerd cluster alone beats every Dum Dum. that has ever existed.
We didn't really discuss any parameters for this bracket at all. We're already in the second episode of it, though. I feel like, I mean, we're talking best chocolate versus best candy. In this specific case, best candy. I think that, man, best is a very wide brush to paint with. And having not set any specific parameters, I care about my fellow man. I'm going to go bigger than myself here. If they're both in front of me, I'm probably picking a box of nerds. But I think that childhood experience of a Dum Dum, and like Matt said, it's I definitely remember times pre-COVID walking around like at work and Dum Dum off someone's desk, open or not, that's fine, stick it. But like walking around with Dum Dums in your mouth, like that, being a call center environment, that was not an unusual thing. But that childhood staple and that lineage and the history behind the Dum Dum, I think I have to respect that. I think I'm gonna have to go Dum Dum as well.
You guys are both Dum Dum. Oh my God, you are butchering this bracket.
Dum Dums moves on. What's our next matchup, Daniel?
Does it matter?
Yes, fucking say it out loud.
Skittles versus Spree, and let me guess, you guys are gonna go Spree.
No, now hold on here. I'm not gonna stand for Matt getting all bitchy when you take half a second to read the bracket when he fucking tries to abstain from votes in other episodes. All right, fair play, buddy.
I abstained.
You set the precedent for what salty reactions look like. Okay, you've set the bar, and Dan's not even close. Skittles versus Spree.
I think the thing that Spree has going for it is chewy Spree.
Yeah, that texture is super enjoyable.
The regular Sprees can suck a tree's toe. You know what I mean? But chewy Sprees get that good flavor, you get that good texture, that chewiness. But here's the thing. Skittles are a fucking juggernaut, bro. Like, just the sheer number of flavors that Skittles have.
What about the sour Sprees too? Weren't those a thing back in the day?
I think they were a thing. Sour was never like my real go-to, if I'm being honest.
What were the ones? There was one that was like a particular sour. Maybe this was just in my middle school or high school or whatever, but there was one candy that was particularly sour. It was kind of like a Spree, like that same like disc shape. People used to be like obsessed with them.
Are you talking about Warheads?
No, because they were they were the disc shape and they had like a chewy center.
Well, there was Sweet Tarts Extreme Sour Chewy.
No, it wasn't Sweet Tarts. Maybe was it just Sour Sprees? I don't think so.
I don't see any Sour Spree.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shockers?
Shockers, that's what it was. So, yeah, they're not related. They're just similar.
Similar shape.
Similar shape and design, but not exactly the same.
Yeah, Spree. If it's not chewy, I don't want it in my mouth.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm gonna go to something that Dan used as an argument here. Tropical Skittles alone beat the shit out of Spree. But then you add in the wild berry, and then more recently, where they started doing the combined packages of wild berry and tropical together, Skittles take this all the way, in my opinion.
Also, hot take: any jelly bean that's not a Skittle jelly bean is trash.
Sorry, I need to correct you on something. A singular Skittles is called a Skittles lentil, not a Skittle. I just want to throw that out there. That is from their branding.
And also, You're wrong about jelly beans being trash. There's all kinds of good flavors of jelly beans.
I just ate some Starburst jelly beans. I wasn't a fan.
No, Skittles jelly beans are where it's at. I will accept the occasional buttered popcorn jelly bean. Beyond that, everything else is garbage. Jelly beans are terrible. But Skittles jelly beans are good. I do, like, there's a part of me that wants to say Spree just because, like, Dan's already a bear and I want to poke him some more. But I just can't with this one. It's definitely Skittles.
I mean, look, you're not going to be able to piss me off on any other things on the bracket because you knocked off the two remaining top challengers for me with your terrible, shitty takes. I just imagine that your taste buds are now forever ruined and you're going to choose things like Pez over Skittles or Sprees over Skittles.
So, Skittles?
Yeah,
It's Skittles.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we all. I'm sure where the rant was coming from. We were in agreement on that one, but yeah,
Still salty.
I can tell.
I do love a good Skittles, man. Like, give me a good package of Skittles on like a road trip or something. Ugh. All right, Scott, what's our last matchup?
Sour Patch Kids versus Twizzlers.
Now, I'm going to start us off. Both of these like make me think of a movie theater, right?
Sure.
Like going to the movies, this is the snack that I would get. One of these two. Sour Patch Kids are a great snack. And because of this broadcast, I learned had a really cool commercial that I never knew about. But Twizzlers, on the other hand, are the superior like licorice candy. They are, they come in a variety of different flavors. Strawberry to me is my favorite, but there are many to choose from. Pretty tough matchup.
I mean, I think for me, I can appreciate how popular Sour Patch Kids are, but I said it earlier, sour's never really been like my flavor profile of choice. Once you get past the sourness, because they're not overtly sour, right? Like they're not like the fucking
Warheads.
Yeah. But once you get past that, the flavor and the gumminess is really good on Sour Patch Kids. But I think Twizzlers, now for those of you that are wondering where the fuck Red Vines are, we landed on Twizzlers because it just brings more to the table over Red Vines. To me, the like filled fruit flavored Twizzlers,
Yeah,
those hold a pretty high place in the hierarchy here because they have multiple textures because you get that like kind of gooiness of the fill, but you still get the chewiness of the licorice itself, and their different flavors of fruit. And I think that's I don't know, that's pretty high on the list for me.
I don't think I've ever had one of those. I have though.
Oh, they're good.
Bitten the end off of a Twizzler, bitten the ends off, and used it as a straw to drink like a drink at the movie theater before.
Yeah, it's the best trick to do.
It's an enjoyable
You impress
experience.
your date every time.
Yeah,
when you do that.
Yeah. And then
look what I can do.
But then also on the flip side, you have the pull and peel Twizzlers, which again, fun experience.
That's true. Get the little spaghettis of the Twizzlers at the end. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can lady in the trampet with your best friend.
Yeah, you and Dan keep doing
co-host.
that, and I'm gonna need you to get your own fucking Twizzlers. Stop trying to take Dan's.
It's true. Stop taking my Twizzlers.
What I just had a great SNL skit where somebody's just eating Twizzlers and it's like zoomed in on their face, and then Fred Armisen just comes in and just does Lady in the Tramp. Anyway,
It's just
probably
like
already
out,
happened.
and he just scoops it up with his mouth.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. Well, I mean, it sounds like we're pretty in alignment here with this vote. I feel like.
Yeah.
So I'll vote Twizzlers.
I'm also voting Twizzlers.
Twizzle me timbers. I'll take it.
Twizzle me timbers.
I feel like we might have upset a lot of listeners with that choice.
Yeah, we didn't really give a whole lot of flowers to the alternative Sour Patch Kids, like the watermelon contingent. I don't really know what else there is in Sour Patch Kids, but here's the thing. We're adults, all right? We don't need a fucking sour face the whole time when we're in the movie theater. Give me some Twizzlers.
I think it's also important for bracketeers to remember that this is science, and that as a bracketeer, all things that we say end up being true and valid, and they must continue to worship accordingly. Moving on.
Hold on, that's a new twist to the whole thing.
Welcome to the cult. We're glad to have you.
We just have a pantheon of gods that
If
are
we
all
start
the
handing
winners.
out Kool-Aid, it's totally fine.
Call me Brother Scott. All right, guys, it's time to jump over to the chocolate side.
Chocolate.
This is where we would put our ad break if we had one. Up next,
Runs, get at us. We'll
Right.
advertise for you.
Yeah, let's sponsor the shit out of this episode. Send me some free Reese's eggs.
Dude, if Gummy Bears sponsored us, would you take back your shitty Pez tape?
If that's what they needed us to do, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I can be bought very
Immediately.
cheaply. My scientific vote is up for sale.
All right, Snickers versus Nestle Crunch.
This is a bullshit matchup. There's not even close.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm actually on Scott's side for this one. I feel like our candy tastes are just much closer aligned.
In being terrible? Yes, they are.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us who you think is the dominant favorite here?
All right, so I think you guys are shitting on Nestle Crunch because those little crunchy bits in the chocolate are really, really good. The chocolate is good. We all know Nestle can do chocolate really well, but it's the little crunchy bits that make it. Now, I'm giving all due flowers to Snickers because if you're hungry, eat a Snickers. Snickers is truly a feeling of like a filling candy bar, and they had an incredible marketing run. You're not you if you're hungry. Eat a Snickers. Like, that's a great tagline, a great commercial. But Nestle Crunch, don't shit on it. It's a great candy bar.
At no point have we shit on the Nestle Crunch.
Yeah,
You both said that.
It comes out of the package looking like somebody already did it for us.
Here's the thing. Nestle Crunch has two things that are going well for it, and then everything else is going bad for it. And those two things are the chocolate, it's decent. And the second thing is the actual crunch. Outside of that, the fact that they're Nestle, not good for it. The fact Nestle's not good for the environment in general, not to stand on
Which of these companies is good for the environment?
This is the only one that has Nestle in the front of it, so I'm going to call them out. But here's the thing, Daniel. Me, as a human, as an individual man, just a normal man, I don't like nuts, generally speaking. You know what I do love? A Snickers. Doesn't matter if it has nuts in it. It's got caramel. It's got nougat. It's got chocolate. Those
Don't
peanuts
you dislike nougat?
No. I don't know where you get these random things that you think are opinions that I have.
The conversation we just had 28 minutes ago about Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
I just think Toblerone's better than Three Musketeers. I'm sorry. That had nothing to do with the nougat.
You said the nougat was gross.
Yes.
At no point did I say that.
Oh, my God.
I'll eat a Three Musketeers. I would just take a Toblerone over it. Anyway, it's Snickers, bro. And here's the other thing about Snickers. There's so many varieties of Snickers that you can get in addition to that. The regular Snickers, you've got the almond Snickers. Not my thing, but a lot of people do enjoy it. Plus, you know what happens when I'm out of Twix ice cream bars?
You get a fucking Snickers ice cream bar. That's what I was going to say. We talked about something important last week. We're leaving off so far this week. That Snickers ice cream bar is a game changer.
That's all you. That mean if legitimately. Here's the thing. When I go to the grocery store, I'll get a box of Twix ice cream bars. I'll get a box of Snickers ice cream bars. I'll eat one of each almost every night until those boxes are gone. I shouldn't be allowed to go to the grocery store.
All right. Well, it sounds like you chuckle fucks have your votes ready.
It's a Snickers, bro.
I'm voting Snickers.
You hungry?
Dan, what's your vote?
For the record, I would also vote Snickers. I just think you're shitting on Nestle Crunch with no reason to. Nestle Crunch is a good chocolate bar, and it deserves its flowers. But I'll can't stack Nestle up Crunch, with the Snickers.
I'll eat a Crunch bar if it's the last thing that's on my desk.
Yeah, I think that's where it belongs.
On that note, what's our next matchup?
We got Butterfinger versus Milky Way.
Get your fingers off my Butterfinger.
And wasn't Butterfinger like it was Bart Simpson advertised for Butterfinger for a long time
Don't lay a finger
Oh,
on
that's
my
what it
my
is.
Butterfinger.
That's what it
Butterfinger.
is. Good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
I was
But
like,
yes,
that's literally
Bart
what I was referencing.
Yeah, Bart Simpson was the running mascot for Butterfinger for a very long time. I think technically could still be. Like, I think
Yeah.
there's still an agreement there.
Now,
But you have the smooth caramel goodness of a Milky Way versus the crunchy whatever the fuck is in Butterfinger.
now it's not legitimate peanut butter, right? In a Butterfinger, but it is peanut butter flavored
Brittle?
stuff. I don't honestly
What
know.
is it? Yeah.
But
I'm
here's
gonna come out here with. Well, go ahead.
No, Scott, if you got a swing, go for it, man.
I got a hot take on this one. I don't enjoy Milky Ways at all.
Oh,
I don't like. I love. I'm a big fan of Three Musketeers. I love the nougat. I love a good Twix and Snickers. I like the caramel. I don't like the combination. Milky Way has never been. It's. I like avoid them. If I look in the kids' leftover Halloween candy and all that's left is Milky Way, fuck. All right, I'll eat a Girl Scout cookie or something. Like it's just. It's not for me.
that does surprise me in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. I mean, Milky Way has,
It's caramel and chocolate, bro.
and it feels like a really good ratio of caramel to chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it feels like a good even distribution. I prefer Milky Way over Three Musketeers. I'll still eat a Three Musketeers, but I prefer Milky Way over Three Musketeers because of the caramel. It still has the similar kind of like lightness or airiness in chocolate as much as you can get. But a Milky Way has that caramel that like finishes it off. You know, it's kind of the cherry on top.
Finishes it off in your mouth.
Don't knock it
that's
till you
the
try it.
safest place.
And you know me, I'm a peanut butter guy through and through. And even though the Butterfinger is peanut butter adjacent, I love a good Butterfinger.
Did you figure out what the?
Yeah, so I Googled what's in a Butterfinger. It is primarily made of peanut butter, corn syrup, sugar, and a chocolatey coating.
Four of my favorite things.
And then it has a whole bunch of other things inside of it that kind of hard to pronounce, including molasses, which is weird.
Molasses?
Yeah.
I mean, that probably gives it its hardness, right? Like the crunchiness inside. Get that molasses to dry.
It just says adds flavor complexity.
What were you going to say, Scott? Sorry, I wanted to.
I don't know. Whatever the joke was that I already made. I don't remember.
Oh, y'all
You
remember
nailed it. You
Butterfinger
did good.
BBs?
Thanks. Oh, I do remember Butterfinger BBs. Those were great. That's one of those things from back in the day, like the Ecto Cooler and shit, like they took away, and people often I see are like, "Bring this back." It's one of those things they could make a resurgence of and do a whole marketing campaign around, and it would last for a few weeks before people lost interest again. Kind of like Surge.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, do you have a? So it sounds like we have Scott's vote, which is
Yeah,
for
I'm a
Butterfinger. Dan, do
Butterfinger
you?
guy all day. Like if I'm on a road trip or something and walk into a gas station, if I don't buy a Reese's product, I'm pretty tempted to buy a Butterfinger. Like to me, it's a good road trip candy bar for some reason.
Yeah.
So we're taking in all the different combinations, and Matt, I don't know if you knew this, but there is a cookie dough Milky Way.
I did know that. I've tried it. Problem with those kinds of like cookie dough candies is that it's not. It just has a different texture than a lot of regular cookie
really
dough.
hit the. All right, but you guys both talked about the Snickers and the Twix ice cream bar. There is a Milky Way ice cream bar too that is also super delicious.
It is significantly better, in my opinion, than the candy bar. I don't enjoy the candy bar. I do like the ice cream. But
It's a vanilla ice cream inside, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. But it's the third choice. I mean, between Snickers and Twix, it's a distant third.
Yeah, so Scott's going with Butterfinger. I am definitely voting Milky Way. I prefer that caramely goodness.
I mean, man. The thing about Milky Way for me is that it has a nostalgic connection because that's the candy bar that both my mom and I enjoyed. Like you know what I mean? Like when we would get we would get like candy bars or something like that. Well, she was a cherry Bing person. Have you guys ever had cherry Bing?
I don't know
No.
what that is.
So it's not a very common thing. It was very much in Nebraska, and then like it was hard for her to find. So kind of her secondary choice would be like a Milky Way, and I enjoyed Milky Way as well with her. With Butterfinger, I'm unsurprisingly, I dislike peanut butter. Generally speaking, I don't, unless it is peanut butter and jelly. I don't like peanut butter. With two notable exceptions, Reese's and Butterfingers. I love a Butterfinger, man. Like, I think it is one of the most slept on chocolate bars of all time. Now, what I do have to say is that from the Wikipedia, doing a little bit of research here, it says the Butterfinger is a candy bar manufactured by the Ferrera Company, a subsidiary of Ferrero. It consists of a layered crisp peanut butter core covered in a chocolatey coating. It is not eligible to be referred to as chocolate as it contains no cocoa butter. And that just makes me laugh because it's very, very pedantic.
Yeah.
It's still one of the best chocolate bars that exist. This is very much a coin flip for me.
What side's coin landing on, Matthew?
If I have two boxes of candy bars in front of me,
Uh-huh.
I like caramel more than I like peanut butter. But I think I do like a Butterfinger more than I like a Milky Way. And unfortunately, the ice cream Milky Way bar, to Scott's point, it is a distant third choice of those three that we talked about. I'll still take it all day long. But if
If
I'm
I'm
looking,
offered one, I'm not going to say no.
But you would prefer the Butterfinger ice cream? Oh, wait.
the thing is I'm looking forward in life, Dan, and I'm thinking about what has an actual chance against the next matchup, which is Snickers. I think Butterfinger has a closer chance than Milky Way does.
Not to me.
So I'm gonna say Butterfinger.
There is, by the way, a Butterfinger ice cream candy bar. I think that was the point you were trying to make, like saying that there wasn't one, but there is one.
Yeah.
There's also a Butterfinger, like a fudgesicle type thing, but it's Butterfinger ice cream in the center with a chocolate coating on the outside, and it's fucking delicious. Butterfinger.
All right. That takes us into the basic off. What's our next? Am I wrong?
Next off, we have Hershey's versus Almond Joy. Hershey, that's a broad brush we're painting with when we say Hershey's.
So I think it's important for us to kind of put some parameters because Hershey's as a company is a large field, but I don't think that's what we're arguing here. I think what we're arguing is Hershey bars, right?
The flat rectangle bar.
Flat rectangle bars. And there are multiple iterations of those, but we stick to those bars. So regular Hershey's, dark chocolate, almonds.
What about Hershey's Kisses? I thought we were including those in the Hershey's.
Well, that's why I'm trying to put parameters around it. Like, do you think that that's that goes into it?
I mean, it is the same chocolate product, just a different shape, right?
Just different shape. I mean, I'm fine with that. I just want to.
They also have all kinds of different Hershey's Kisses. That's why I was opposed to putting everything.
But I mean,
together.
The difference in Hershey Kisses are the same as the difference in Hershey bars. They have the white chocolate ones. They have the cocoa cookies and cream ones. They have ones with almonds in them. Like,
No,
it's the
they
same
have
thing, just different shape.
like chocolate mint Hershey Kisses. They have like strawberry Hershey Kisses. They have all kinds of different Hershey Kiss varieties.
But is that a positive or does that hinder them because there are so many options? Because I think that, I mean, I'm just going to be flat out about this. I don't like almonds. I don't like Almond Joys.
Well,
my vote immediately is for Hershey's, but I wanted to put some parameters about what is Hershey's.
dude, so chocolate, almonds, and coconut It's a great combination.
I don't like almonds or coconut, generally speaking.
Well, yeah, but you have bad taste in food.
Says the guy who's still salty because he's lost 3 matchups so far.
Yeah, because I didn't know how aligned you both are in bad taste.
Do you want a little more insight, Dan?
A little more insight into
How aligned Matt and I are. Almond Joys are garbage. Anything with that much coconut in it serves no purpose outside of being a doorstop or something to weigh down your trash bag. Garbage. I
disagree with you wholeheartedly on that, but I do agree Hershey's moves on. If we're just moving to a vote.
I mean, Almond Joys are just, they're not good. They're just...
They are good.
No, objectively, they're disgusting.
Subjectively, you say they are disgusting, but holy shit, there's Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavored Hershey Kisses.
That actually doesn't surprise me at all. Cinnamon Toast Crunch has fucking invaded every possible food stuff.
Well, and because of science, we have discovered that is the best breakfast cereal.
That's true. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Either way, no candy should have that much coconut in it. Garbage. Mounds, Almond Joy, both of them. Trash.
What do you think about the snowballs? You know what I'm talking about? Like the Hostess snowballs? Those are gross too.
Yeah, they are.
I agree with you there.
I don't want to have to chew through construction paper on the outside of my food to eat the delicious part on the inside of my food. I
remember when the Broncos won their first Super Bowl, we had like a party. I might have told this story at one point, but we had a party at school, and they were like, bring in something blue and orange because the Broncos won. And so I brought in snowballs. Man, I've never been so disappointed in my own decisions.
You host this podcast with us.
Yeah, that's how bad the snowballs were.
You voted for Pez over gummy bears.
Which was the right choice. Kit Kat versus Rolos.
See, to me, I think this is an easy... If we're throwing all the variants of Kit Kats in there, Rolos doesn't have a chance. Like, Kit Kats are... Plain Kit Kats are great, but then you have all the different variants of Kit Kat.
Have you tried the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Kit Kat?
No, but it sounds amazing.
It actually is really good.
It's pretty good, yeah. With you. I have had that.
The only downside of that is that it's white chocolate as opposed to like a milk chocolate or something else. Like I'd like to see like a cinnamon milk chocolate. I don't want this to be a bloodbath because I love Rolos. Like I think Rolos, like
they're good.
The chocolate inside is just a dollop of caramel, and it's the soft caramel. Like that is it's something. There's something special to it. When I want, we'll go back a couple rounds to Milky Ways, right, with the chocolate and the caramel. When I want chocolate and caramel together, I'm gonna go with a Rolo 99 times out of 100 over a Milky Way or over something else that is just that combination. But the sad truth is I do think that Kit Kats hold a lot more ammunition, partly because they also are the only cannibalizing candy on this entire bracket.
What? How do you mean?
So you know the filling inside of Kit Kats?
Yeah.
You know what that's made of?
No.
At least partially is made of other destroyed Kit Kats.
Like they recycle the failed ones and turn it. I mean, shoot, that's fine by me.
Put it into the filling.
It reduces the waste, bro.
Yeah.
And we talked about that in Dum Dums.
Yeah, I think that's great.
That's true.
I think what gets me is that the only place I know of to get Rolos is like the pocket of an old man like Dan. Like I don't know.
You're talking about the individually wrapped Rolo, though.
I didn't know it came in any other form. I only know of it as...
You get like a whole roll of Rolos.
Why the fuck would anyone want to do that?
Because sometimes you just want chocolate and caramel.
Look, why would, again, I don't know why you would buy that. Your creepy old uncle probably has Rolos in his pocket already. It's old man pocket candy.
I don't know how often you're hanging out with your creepy uncles.
Yeah.
They've taught me everything.
how often you're reaching in their pockets for candy, but
Hey, Scott, come here. Have your hand in that pocket. I got a Rolo for you.
You're painting a very clear picture of why I want a Kit Kat now.
I do think before we unlock any suppressed memories for Scott, I do think that, like I said, I don't want it to be a bloodbath because I love Rolos, but I do think Kit Kat just holds too many cards. Like I think they just have the better hand. Because I mean, honestly, who's going to turn down a fucking Kit Kat? Plus, one of the best marketing campaigns of all time when you talk about candies. Just a song, just a little jingle. Give me a break. Give me a break.
break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
You knew that he wouldn't be able to not finish.
No,
it.
yeah, there's no way.
I was trying. So Kit Kats, I think, get all the votes.
Yeah, Kit Kat.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we have enough votes to share with one left over.
Also, I'm not sharing a goddamn Kit Kat. Get the fuck away from me.
100%.
No,
if I get a Kit Kat, that's going in my fat ass.
I'm not even breaking them apart.
Why are
I'm
you
straight
doing
up
it
eating.
the wrong way? Yeah, I'm going to look you dead in the eye while I just bite the whole
through the whole like 4 pieces.
Apparently, Dan's shoving it in his ass. I don't know why he's doing it wrong. I hope he's breaking it into pieces before he does that.
Just
Word choice is important, Dan. All right. Well, we've done it. Next week, we ran into this with pro wrestling because we said the 2 Sweet 16. This is literally candy and chocolate. Like, I don't think technically we can call it the Sweet 16. I think there's a legality issue there. I feel like that term is probably trademarked somewhere.
sugary 16.
Sugary 16.
All right, we're down to the sugary 16. So join us next week while we continue to work our way through determining the best chocolate on the left side, the best candy on the right side.
And diabetes in the middle.
Yeah.
It's a race to diabetes.
As usual, we want to thank Aaron O'Donnell from Aaron O'Donnell Music for the track here at the beginning and end of every episode. We want to thank you for listening and sharing and liking and commenting and engaging in social media and putting the podcast episode on loop and muting your phone while you sleep at night so it looks like we have listens. I don't know why I haven't. Anyway, yeah. We should do that. Boost our own numbers.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Yeah. Anyway, please, again, find us on social media. We're at Bracketology on most platforms. You can check out Matt and I when we play video games at Bracketology_Scott, Bracketology_Matt on Twitch. Dan.
It's to be determined.
Work in progress, under construction. What else? Is that it? Is that an episode?
Yeah.
Feels like an episode.
I think that's good.
Okay, there was no objections. Okay. Once again, I've been the second best nerd to put in your mouth. Scott.
I can't remember what my intro was. Matt.
It was that you were a dumb.
Oh, I'm a dum.
And I'm still helping you taste the rainbow. I'm Dan.
Bye-bye.